There is a conversation that happens at the feed store, at the co-op, at the end of a long driveway when two farmers stop to talk over a fence. It is not about horsepower numbers on a spec sheet. It is not about what is on sale this weekend at the home improvement store. It is about what is still running after 10 years of real work on real land. Farmers do not buy mowers the way most people buy mowers. They do not walk into a store and pick the one with the most features for the price. They talk to the neighbor who has been running the same machine for 8 years across rough pasture and ask him one question. Is it still going? And if the answer is yes, the conversation gets longer. Because for a farmer, a mower is not a lawn appliance. It is working equipment. It has to handle acreage that suburban homeowners never see. Fence lines, rough edges, uneven ground, thick, overgrown grass baked hard by midsummer heat. It has to start every time. It has to run the full season without a trip to the dealer. And it has to still be worth something in year 7, year 10, year 12. The machines most farmers end up on are not the ones advertised during prime time. They are not on the floor at the big box store. You will not find them on a seasonal sale pallet in April. You find them at independent dealers, alongside equipment that commercial landscaping crews pick up for professional use. And when a farmer walks into one of those dealerships and starts asking the right questions, 3 brands keep coming up every time. The first one surprises people because the story behind it sounds like something farmers already understand. 2 men in Batesville, Arkansas, in 2002 were dissatisfied with every zero-turn mower available to them. Not mildly disappointed, done with all of it. So they went and built one themselves. Phil Pulley and Robert Foster started in a small facility in rural Arkansas with one promise: a better mower at a better price. They showed their first machine at the Louisville Lawn and Garden Expo that year and won Product of the Year. That is how Bad Boy Mowers started. What made Bad Boy different from the beginning was who they were building for. Not commercial landscaping crews, not golf courses, rural landowners, farmers, people with real acreage who needed a machine that could handle actual work, not a manicured half-acre lot in a subdivision. Bad Boy was the first brand to take zero-turn engineering directly to that market and make it accessible. Before they came along, that kind of equipment lived almost entirely in the professional commercial world. The original facility in Batesville is now over 1 million square feet of manufacturing floor. Recently, the 1 millionth Bad Boy mower rolled off that line. A machine that started in a garage, built for people who actually work their land, hit 1 million units. That does not happen unless the machines hold up. The entry point for most landowners is the ZT Elite. Built on a 7-gauge fabricated steel welded deck with reinforced edges, Hydrogear ZT 3100 transaxles, and a Kawasaki FR730 engine, this machine runs on the same engineering principles as equipment that costs nearly twice as much. A full 2x2-inch welded steel frame with 3/8-inch front forks. Starting around $4,000, it is a serious tool at a price that does not require a long conversation with a bank. For 1 to 3 acres of working land, it is exactly what it needs to be. For larger properties, more demanding terrain, and farmers who are thinking 15 years out, Bad Boy built the Maverick HD. Hydrogear ZT 3400 hydraulics with a heavier 1.25-inch shaft rated for commercial daily use. Full independent front and rear suspension. A 7-gauge fabricated deck with reinforced 3/8-inch sides and a 5.5-inch deep shell built to handle thick, wet, heavy grass without flexing. Kawasaki FX730 commercial engine. Every component on the Maverick HD is spec'd for professional use, and every one of them is built in Batesville, Arkansas. For the farmer who has burned through 2 or 3 cheaper machines and is done with that cycle, Bad Boy is where the conversation starts. but it is only the starting point. Because the next machine answers a question that most people buying a mower have never thought to ask. And once a farmer understands it, every other zero turn on the market starts to look like a compromise. Ask any farmer who has run equipment hard across rough ground for a decade, and they will tell you the same thing. It is not the engine that gives out first. It is everything the engine is bolted to. The spindle bearings, the deck welds, the hydraulic seals, the frame. Every time a mower drops into a low spot, clips a buried root, or crosses rough, uneven pasture, that impact goes somewhere. On every standard zero-turn mower ever built, it goes directly into the machine, into the frame welds, into the spindle housings, into the hydraulic lines, into every joint and seal in the drivetrain. Season after season, that process adds up, and eventually it shows. Ferris Mowers solved this problem with a patented independent suspension system that no other brand in this category has matched. Coil-over shocks at all four wheels mean that when the machine hits rough ground, the force goes through the suspension first. The drivetrain does not absorb the hit. The spindle bearings do not absorb the hit. The deck does not absorb the hit. The hydraulics do not absorb the hit. A suspension seat protects the person riding the machine. It does absolutely nothing for the machine itself. The Ferris suspension protects the machine. And on a working farm where that machine is crossing rough pasture season after season, those are two completely different things. Spindle bearings fail from repeated impact stress. Deck plates crack along their weld points from years of shock loading. Hydraulic lines wear and chafe from constant vibration. Frame welds fatigue under sustained load. On a standard zero-turn running across rough ground every season, all of that is happening faster than most owners realize until the repair bill arrives. On a Ferris Is series, the suspension is absorbing what would otherwise be destroying the components underneath the operator. Season after season, year after year. That is not a marketing position. It is basic mechanical logic applied to a piece of working equipment. And it is exactly why farmers with serious acreage and serious terrain end up on a Ferris and stay there. The IS600Z runs a 10-gauge fabricated steel deck, Hydrogear ZT 3200 transaxles, and reaches a top ground speed of 10 miles per hour. Current dealer pricing averages around $7,550. The IS700Z steps up with the ICD cutting system across a wider 60-inch deck and is the version most buyers with larger properties ultimately choose. Both machines are heavy. Farmers who understand equipment know exactly what that weight means. The material is there because Ferris put it there on purpose. For 3 to 5 acres with any terrain variation at all, a Ferris Is series is not an expensive choice. It is the correct one. But the third machine on this list has been earning its reputation on the hardest working properties in America for decades. And the reason farmers trust it is exactly the same reason professional crews do. Drive past a commercial property being maintained by a professional crew, and chances are a Scag is on the trailer, not because of advertising, not because of a sponsorship deal, because when a professional landscaper's livelihood depends on a machine completing the job every single day, experimentation stops and reliability wins. Scag built that reputation the hard way. Commercial machines running at 1,500 hours on professional crews without major failures. Season after season, property after property, machine after machine. That kind of track record does not come from good marketing. It comes from building the machine correctly the first time and not cutting corners on the components that matter. The Patriot is what Scag built for the farmer and the serious landowner. Not a full commercial machine, but one built on full commercial component thinking. The Hero Cutter Deck is fully fabricated and fully welded. The spindles are heavy-duty aluminum with sealed ball bearings. Aluminum does not corrode. Sealed bearings resist the contamination that destroys cheaper assemblies after a few hard seasons on working land. On most budget mowers, spindle replacement is one of the first major repairs a landowner faces, usually right around the time the warranty runs out. On the Scag Patriot, that repair simply does not come up. The engine is the Kawasaki FX series, not the residential FR series found on lighter machines. The FX, the same commercial engine line running on full professional Scag units used by crews who depend on them every single working day. A farmer standing in front of a Patriot is not looking at a residential machine dressed up with upgraded branding. Every major component in the powertrain is the same spec that commercial operators trust at 1,500 hours. The verified cash price for a 52-inch Patriot with the Kawasaki FX engine is approximately $8,785. For a farmer who has already replaced 2 cheaper machines and made multiple trips to the dealer for spindle work, belt failures, and transmission problems, that number reframes itself immediately. It is not an expensive mower. It is the price paid once, instead of the price paid over and over again across a decade of ownership. Bad Boy, Ferris, Scag, fabricated decks, commercial engines, dealer only. No seasonal sale, no end cap display. A farmer goes and finds them, sits on them, asks the dealer which machines come back to the shop for the same repair twice. The neighbor who bought a $3,000 machine at the home improvement store replaces the belt every summer. The farmer 2 properties over is still running his first Scag at year 10 and has not thought about it once. That is the difference. And now every farmer watching knows exactly where to start looking.